solidarity, trust, friendship, potential, brains. Told you we were gonna see a lot of that. Anyway, last time I left off at the Apple Juice stand where you're being told stuff that I already told you a while ago. Well, duh! If something's maxed out, how can you make it higher? That's not just in this game, but in any game. I guess this game really is aimed towards kids, and yet making Apple Juice is an art so complex that no 5-year-old could hopefully comprehend it. Shut up! Crobat, help me! Thank you! Anyway, if you don't want to make your own Apple Juice, there are a few specimens that you can buy for only $100. As I said in the last video, if you don't want to do it yourself, well, there's these jars of Apple Juice that you can buy. But since you're not doing it yourself and it only costs $100, as you might expect, well, it's definitely not the best way to make your Pokemon super strong for Pokéathlons. But if you just want to boost your stats a bit, I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Those things are dirt cheap, even though, well, you shouldn't squander your money since rematches still aren't available at that point in the game. Yeah, richness and smoothness. Don't really remember what those stats mean. I would need to look it up, and no, don't bother telling me in the comments either if I want to know. If I want a little refresher, no pun intended, I'm going to just head to, I guess Boulder Garden's going to have something on it. And just to give you an idea of how unimpressive this Apple Juice here, they sell stuff made by beginners. It's not even trying to hide that it's crap. It's a long way to perfection. And, yeah, only $100. This is a bargain, but I still suggest that you make your own Apple Juice if you really are serious about entering your Pokemon in contests. Now, there are a few more people outside of the Pokéathlon Dome, so I'm going to try to talk to them. I think one of them will give you a rare candy if you do 1,000 dashes in total throughout your career. But don't quote me on that, because as I remember, there's no real indication that this NPC, and I think it's this one that gives you the rare candy. But as you're seeing right now, there's no indication that this person's going to give you one, unlike some other people that are inside the dome that ask you to break their record, and if you do, they give you a rare candy as well. But it's probably a lot easier to just buy those rare candies with Pokéathlon points. And no, I'm not going to be doing tons of Pokéathlon to get those rare candies that I got in Crystal through Buena's password, because it still takes a fairly long time, whereas Buena's password was relatively quick and painless. And speaking of pain, potential again. Yeah, that word shows up all the time. But then again, I guess the notion of potential is important in the Pokéathlon, since you need Apple Juice in order to make your Pokemon live up more to their true potential. Sorry for using the word myself, but there's really no better word. Anyway, Whitney is coming here to give me an outfit for the Pokéathlon, which is, to my knowledge, entirely freaking pointless, because you're not the one performing, your Pokemon are, but whatever, let's humor her and take an outfit for the road. Anyway, the thing about Whitney is that, if you remember in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, you could take on Fantina and even your own mother in contests. Well, here, it's sort of the same thing. You can take on Whitney and Jasmine and even Maylene in the Pokéathlon if you go to the Supreme Cup. So, that's basically what the deal is with her and the Pokéathlon. It's basically very similar to Fantina and the contests in Heart Home. Anyway, now that this is done, this is the registration counter, so I'm just gonna check out info. And, okay, let's choose Pokéathlon, and basically you're going to get a rundown on what this is. It's basically in which you and 3 Pokemon, rate 3 Pokemon only, compete in various events. And, yeah, the way this works is that if you have a Pokemon that has good speed, you're going to want to take on the speed course with that Pokemon. There are 3 events that require good speed, namely the Hurdle Dash, jump over the hurdles to be number 1. There's also the Pennant Capture and the Relay Run, as you can see. And all these events require other stats as well, but if you have good speed, then you should be able to handle those 3 events. And I'm not going to waste your time showing you which events are in every course, because the concept is the exact same. This woman here, she can sell you data cards, which will allow you to use that monitor next to her to check out various records that you have, like, for example, the number of times that you won, the number of times that you lost. And, yeah, you can only buy the first 6 for the time being, and you're forced to use athlete points to buy these, and they're actually fairly expensive, so I would say pass on these, especially since there are a lot of better things that you can do with your points. Participated in the Pokéathlon 0 times. Wow, I totally wonder how she could tell. Yeah, it's obvious that it's my first time here, so that was easy to figure out, but actually she's going to tell you the right answer if you participated in the Pokéathlon. Either way, no, I'm really not interested in those data cards. I guess if you have nothing better to do, you could do that, but the athlete point sinks are more than good enough without those data cards. Okay, so, by the way, this elevator, or escalator, sorry, that you're seeing there, it leads to the basement. I'm going to show it to you in just a moment once I'm done with this area of the dome. Anyway, that counter over there is where you're going to be buying your prizes. This is where you can exchange your points for prizes. You're going to be coming here a lot if you're partaking in the Pokéathlon. And the word friendship again. Just great. I really should have started a drinking game like I did with the whole Ganondorf is evil thing. So, basically, yeah, the scores in the Pokéathlon prove your friendship. I don't see the relationship between the two. It's not like your Pokémon's gonna jump higher or run faster if it's more friendly towards its trainer, so yeah, it's just that cheesy all you need is love thing you find in every Pokemon game. Anyway, those are the prizes for today. There are a few apricorns, as you can see, but in my opinion, it's preferable to just go to the appropriate tree and start humping it. As for Moo Moo Milk, it's best bought with money as well, though it's not available until a bit later in the game. Though the rare candy and the Moonstone, those are the things you'd really want to buy, but they're really damn expensive. This guy here, I think, yeah, this is the one who gives you a rare candy for free if you tackle a certain number of times. Anyway, now that we're done with the rightmost area of the main floor, I'm just going to check this out to relieve the boredom of hearing about... Well, that was a failure! The first NPC I talked to says solidarity again. Anyway, this place is where you can check your course records. Just see... Oh, seems like they all show the speed course for some reason, but whatever, not really important right now, since I'm not going to be doing any Pokéathlons in this LP. At least I'm not planning to. Anyway, this room here, it's basically your course records as well as some exhibits from the distant past. You might say those are useless, but I think personally it's that kind of little details like that that really help the game world come to life. Anyway, this cleric here will only move aside once you've finished first in the 5 courses of the Pokéathlon. And once you do that, you're going to access a room with more exhibits like that. And if you're doing even better at the Pokéathlon, then you're going to gain access to the Hall of Fame, where some of your stuff will be on display. Your Pokémon are going to get statues of them erected in the Hall of Fame, but that's not going to be anything that we're going to be seeing in this LP normally. Anyway, what we're seeing right now is how the Pokéathlon came to be, the backstory. It's basically more or less the same thing as the story behind the marathon in real life, where some Greek guy, I forgot the name, ran from Marathon to Athens to deliver the news that they had won the war against the Persians. Except this version of the story is about a huge disease and a guy spreading word of the cure after facing 10 different challenges. So that's how the Pokéathlon came to be. So now that we're back up here, there's still a few NPCs that I need to talk to, and basically, yeah, the courses are divided into their... Well, I wouldn't say primary stat, because there are many stats involved in each event, but the speed course reunites all the events that require speed. And good thing that I checked, because apparently the Link Pokéathlon that you can do with friends actually involves 2 stats rather than one. I've never actually done this before, so I didn't really remember. But Link Pokéathlons are a little trickier because your Pokemon needs to be good in 2 stats instead of just 1. And instead of 3 events, there are 4. But other than that, and the fact that your opponents are actually human beings, I think that's it. So once again, I'm not going to show you every last course. And vending machine that sells soda pop, lemonade, and fresh water as well. You can use athlete points to buy them. No thanks, I'd rather keep them for more valuable stuff. And this guy is another one of the NPCs who are going to give you a rare candy if you do a certain amount of jumps. In this case, if you do 1,000 jumps, he's going to give you a rare candy. But just explain me this one thing. Why did he have to retire due to his age? It's not like the trainers do any of the effort. It's the Pokemon that do. So, in one word, bullshit! Anyway, we're done with the Pokéathlon Dome at long last, so we're not gonna have to hear anything about trust and love and solidarity and potential, at least not for quite a while. Now, before I head and catch Sudowoodo, because it's the next thing that I'm gonna do, there are 2 things that I'm going to need in order to catch it. First, obviously, is going to be the evil watering can. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to have to touch a watering can. It's so dangerous. Please don't make me do it. Oh, you're gonna make me do it, aren't you? Well, okay, it's time to prove to those losers once and for all how much of a master I am at wielding a squirt bottle. There we go. Take the squirt bottle, which serves an extra purpose in this game compared to the originals, but we're gonna get to that a bit later, which is probably going to be in the next video anyway. Second thing we need to catch Sudowoodo, obviously, Pokeballs, because I don't think I've bought any so far in this LP. So I'm gonna repeat the pro tip I gave you in Platinum. No, this isn't the right clerk. What you want to do, when you buy regular Pokeballs, always buy them in sets of 10. That way you're going to get a Premier Ball. Don't buy like 99 at one time, because no matter what, you're still only going to get that one Premier Ball. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy 10 Pokeballs twice, and I'm going to have 2 Premier Balls. It's not that important, because the value of a regular Pokeball is just $200, but still, if you want to save some money, it's still a way to do so, to get the most bang for your buck. And by the way, Premier Balls, in case you didn't know, have the exact same catch rate as a regular ball. The only difference is that they look different. Yep, it's purely cosmetic and absolutely nothing else. Anyway, man, we sure spent a lot of time in the Pokéathlon Dome, so we have none left at all to take on Sudowoodo today, so I guess this is going to be next time stuff. So next time, we're going to clear out the road to Ekritig by taking out that Sudowoodo and obviously trying to catch it, even though I don't have any plans to use it at all. So see you next time for more. Ho 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 ho! Apricorn, distraction, yay! Anyway, see you next time for the battle against Sudowoodo.